Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you are all knitting healthy and happy. Today I'm going to show you a few embellishments designs that you can apply on specific knitted samples. The first design I'm going to show you is a tubular knitted ladder knitted on a double bed knitting machine. In order to knit tubular, you will have to put one of the cam lever on the rubber carriage in PR position and press one of the partial cams on your main carriage. They have to be alternated, so if you push the right partial cam, you have to put the left cam lever into PR position on the rubber carriage or the other way around. The reason why I'm knitting the ladder in tubular is so I can have more floats and more structures to my sample. In this video, the gap that forms the ladder is 2 needle wide with 2 stitches in between, but for the actual sample I have 4 needles gap. I recommend plying the yarn you want to use for this technique with a fluffy yarn such as mohair because it helps hold everything together much better. I did try this technique with a different yarn, but I think this one is the most successful out of all. Using my needle and yarn, I'm sewing twice around the floats like so, and alternating from left to right every around 6 stitches. You don't want to go too tight, but you should pull a little bit after the second time you went around the floats. Coming back, you will just go around the remaining floats, alternating from left to right. I feel like this technique could be developed even more, but it's a starting point for an idea. The next example I will show you, it's a ripple mock rib embellishment. I don't know if ripple mock rib is a thing, but basically what I'm knitting is a mock rib. And then, just like when you knit ripple textures, you knit a few rows on one bed only. We will be knitting these rows on the bed where we have the transfers, and we will get these floats, on which we will sew the embellishment. For this particular example, I'm knitting full needle on the back bed and 3 needle in action, 2 needle out of action for the front bed, a 2x3 mock rib basically. In order to knit on front bed only, you have to put both lever cams on the ribber carriage into PR position. I will be knitting 4 rows on front bed only and 2 rows on both beds. Do these repeats as many times as you want, depending on how large is the section you want to embellish. Here you can see how the sample will look and which floats we are going to catch when sewing. We are going to sew around 2 sets of floats in the same time. It is very similar to the one we have done before, alternating from left to right, but this time we are going 3 times around them, and then moving to the next set of floats. For the next set, just bring the needle out in between the first set of floats. I really love this next one. I think it's so cute. The result is very different, and we are using the same technique we used before and the same base of knitting, just like in the example before. That's why I love knitting. You can just adjust your technique a little bit and you can achieve a completely different result. I have already 4 bows on this sample, and the edges of every bow will be on the same float row. For the next one, I will first see where my middle will be, and then I will bring the needle out right there. I'm going to wrap the yarn around 3 sets of floats, and I will go around them a few times so I can have a really pronounced middle of my bow. Then I will create the sides in a similar way, but going for each set of floats individually and going around them just once. I really love how this looks and I'm just so excited to share this with you. Also, for this final sample, I used same color yarn as the base to go around the floats in between the navy and yellow bows, and it just makes the sample have so much more texture. Last technique I will show you looks very much like bows as well. We will need a lace base for this design. 2 holes with 2 stitches in between, and then 4 stitches in between every set of holes. Knit 4 rows in between every transfer and move 1 stitch to the right with every transfer. Start sewing a ladder like so and make sure it's not very tight. Then, using a contrast yarn, we are sewing 4 floats together. Then, using a contrast yarn, we are sewing 4 floats together. Bring the needle out in between the next 4 floats we are going to sew around and go around them a few times. I'm going to go 3 times. After, go underneath right here and hide your yarn. I really hope this video will inspire you to create something like this. I know it looks very time consuming, but trust me, once you get the technique right, it goes quite fast. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe. My name is Elena and I'll see you next time.